not escape. But in the night, a few lights shone bright. Teachers and students alike came from all over the world to learn from him and learn how he became such a great man. Was a Jewish painter in Paris, France, during World War II. This complicated his life and his art because when the Nazi invasion reached France, he was forced to leave. He was invited, though, by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City to become a painter for them. He accepted this job, and money was not a problem for him and his family. In addition to being a painter, he was also a costume designer for the National Ballet. In 1944, he and his wife received word that France had been freed of Hitler's rule and it was safe to return. Their happiness, however, was short-lived because shortly after this great news arrived, his wife came down with a respiratory disease and later died. For 9 months, he was so grief-stricken, he could not bear to hold a paintbrush or look at a canvas. But after these 9 months, he began painting again. His paintings became dedications to his deceased wife. They became paintings of lovers, paintings of grievers, and paintings of graves. When he was able to finally overcome this, he remarried and moved back to France. In 1948, Israel became an independent country, and they invited him to come and create for them a masterpiece, That he did. In Jerusalem, he made the Chagall windows that hang in Hadassah Hospital, 12 windows, one for each of the 12 Israel tribes. He returned to Jerusalem several more times to paint and to create more masterpieces. Later, he returned to France, and there is where he died.
והביט ואין עוזר, ואשתומם ואין צומח, ותושב לי זרועי, וחמתי היא צמחתני. This quote, Isaiah chapter 63, verse 5. This quote is said by the prophet Isaiah on behalf of God. God is angry with his chosen people because we have not been there for him. We say, where is God when we are in time of need? Why isn't he protecting me? Why isn't he helping me? It was his turn to say this in the book of Isaiah. We had left, we had assimilated, and we had broken his commandments. God punished us by sending the Babylonians and the Assyrians to destroy Israel. Israel was destroyed, we had failed our jobs, God had punished us. This leads me into my Hebrew presentation. This quote from the book of Isaiah sums up the book of Isaiah, and it can also be used in the Holocaust. But there is one major difference. In the Holocaust, there were helpers, there were people that were there. Raoul Wallenberg was one of these people. Raoul Wallenberg worked for the Hungarian government. He was given fake passports to hand out to any Hungarian Jews that they would give back to the Nazis and be able to escape. Because of this righteous deed, he's honored at Yad Vashem as one of the righteous Gentiles of the Holocaust. Nearing the end of the Holocaust, he was known for saving hundreds, maybe thousands of Jews. He was not done yet, though. Near the end, he sent a letter to Adolf Eichmann, ordering him to cancel the death march that was about to take place. In the letter, it said that he would sue Eichmann for war crimes, and Eichmann would be thrown in jail if he did not comply. Eichmann complied, and Raoul Wallenberg was credited with saving thousands more lives. But at the end of the war, he was captured by the Russians, and we do not know his death date. It was never made clear. The song playing right now is the Hatikvah, the national anthem for Israel. Hatikvah means hope, and that is what Raoul Wallenberg, Louis Armstrong, Mark Chagall all represented. They represented a beacon of hope and light to any of those who needed it in any way that they needed it. Raoul Wallenberg worked from the Eichel Onof to his death to preserve this and to help anyone who needed it. In the darkness they could not hide, the misery they could not escape, but in the